along with, you know, people, and let them go. Even when I was a kid, man, me and my best friend, we would be in situations where we would like the same girl, and because that was my friend, you know what I'm saying, I would let him, you know, talk to the girl, you know what I'm saying, just give up that because of that respect and just having that heart of wanting to see people happy. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of times we oftentimes let things go because we want to see other people happy. We put other people's happiness in front of ours. We put other people's feelings and emotions in front of ours. We take a lot in, and we knowing that we're not going to receive that same energy back. You know what I mean? But it just that's something that you're born with. I think that's something that you can't. I think that's something that's not phony. That's something that you have to be born with. You know what I'm saying? You're born with that. That's just who you are as a person. You know what I mean? You have a big heart, and you just genuinely like to see other people happy. So you just tend to put yourself on the back burner, to let somebody else, take the forefront.
Now, I'm starting to see a trend in what we're saying, because, and I will get to what that is after I say my reason. So my most paramount reason as to why I think nice guys finish last is because we actually care. We actually care about our women to a point where I'm gonna say that part because that's where the similarity come in at. But I've noticed the people that don't care, the men that are like, "This is who I am. I'm not gonna change. You need to get with it to get lost." Those are the men that are usually chased, where the nice guys aren't. So what I'm hearing across all three of us is we are easily walked over. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
I mean, it's like it might as well be the McDonald's, the In and Outs, the Burger Kings, because you could just lay that out every day and just say, "Hey, let's just get an easy sandwich real quick." It's a fast food store, it's a drive through, and even though that's satisfying based on your hunger, it's not satisfying based on what you actually want. You want the steak dinner. You want all of the extras. You want to go out to the fancy restaurant. You want to go out to all these other things, and that's I think that's who we are. I don't know
And
what just happened.
oh, he walked off for a second. But then a lot of time, man, people take that kindness for a weakness also. They think that because, we allow these certain things that, we are actually the weaker vessel when it takes a lot. You don't know how much it takes for a person to submit themselves in that manner. That's strength. That's a lot of growth and maturity, when you're able to put somebody else feelings and emotions and things of that nature in the forefront before yourself. You know what I mean? It's selflessness. You know what I mean?
Well,
And a lot of
when
people,
does it become detrimental to yourself? When does it become detrimental to yourself?
it be,
Because
it becomes
you allow these things to be you being taken advantage of constantly, and you see it and you allow it, and you just cool,
yeah.
okay, cool, whatever. Because I'm willing to provide for you as long as you happy. But at a point, if you're giving all of that, and then somebody navigates away from you after you've given them everything they wanted, when at that point do you say no? Now I'm gonna get it back. Now I'm gonna take it all back. And that's where you have a breakdown. That's where men lose their mind or have these mental health issues in regards to that. And all of a sudden they start going out and mistreating women because they're no longer gonna give them who they are, which is that kind, loving person.
Well, I strongly believe that at some point it does become detrimental to you, stress, anxiety, depression, and things of that nature. But then I'm also of a strong character to believe that no matter how a person perceives or treat me, I cannot allow that to change who the person that I am. You know what I mean? Because once you do that, then you start giving the people dominion over your life, and you stop becoming who you were created to be, and now you're becoming what somebody has made you to be.
But that's crazy though, because then shouldn't nice guys get with nice girls, and then they wouldn't have a problem?
That's just not in a perfect world, yeah. You know what I mean? In a
Because nice
perfect
guys be
world,
trying to get the girl that's on the video, you know.
you
They
know
be
what I'm saying?
trying, you know.
In a perfect world, yeah, you know what I mean. But it just don't always pan out that way. You know, I've encountered so many beautiful women that has been mistreated by guys that just does things to them. I mean, cheats on them, talk to them any kind of way, use them for their money. You know, take their car when they go to work. You know what I mean? Just all, and they stay. You know what I
Mm,
mean? But
mm,
then you have these people that work hard, got a good education, cares, does the things that they supposed to do as a man, a husband, a friend, whatever the situation may be, and he's the one on the outside looking in. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah.
so so it's just like I say, in a perfect world, yeah, but it's just something that you have to accept as a person, but it's up to you to know your boundaries, where you tell a person, okay, look, I've did, my due diligence towards, this relationship or this friendship or what have you. I see that I'm not. And another thing, we have to stop expecting us out of other people.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? You got to stop
mm.
expecting you out of somebody else, because you're not going to get you from somebody else, brother. That's one thing that I think that we sometimes have a lot of problems with, because we'll be like, man, I did this to this person, I've done this for this person, and for some odd reason I just can't. You do things from the heart. My grandmama always tell me, don't never do nothing for a person if you got to bring it back up. If you're doing it from the heart, let it be that from the heart. And if you don't get it back, shame on them, because you don't have
Oh
to get
yeah,
up in the morning.
that's a $40 rule, right? Somebody
You know what
asks you
I'm
for
saying?
$40, you just better be ready to give it up. Don't
Exactly.
expect it to come back to
Don't
you.
expect it to come back. Don't never lend
Yeah,
something out that you got to have right back.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So from one thing, we have to be nice guys. We have to be happy with ourselves first and
Mm-hmm,
foremost. You know what I'm saying? We have to be
mm-hmm.
happy with the person that we are, and we got to that way. That keeps you from falling into that realm of treating women this way and treating another person that way and treating another person that way, because you are comfortable with the person that you are. Because people, let me tell you something, man. Through my 42 years, bro, I've learned to understand that people are going to treat you any kind of way. It
Mm.
doesn't matter what you do for them, what you have said, the type of person you have been to them. They're free to make their own decisions, or perceive the way they want to go. It's up to you whether you want to still dwell in that
But you see this
situation.
nice guy rule though. We are the most dangerous individuals.
Yes, we are.
Don't mess
Yes,
with,
we
with my
are.
foundation. Don't mess with this foundation that I just built up.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna take all that energy that I was disrespected because I did this, and this. I'm gonna take it out on a stranger that's trying to break my foundation. And so, yeah.
So that was going to be my next question. How do we not grow bitter after being walked on? Because we've all been there, where we've been the temptations to a woman and singing that Earth Angel, Earth Angel. What I do, love you forever. Y'all seen the movie? So once you've got through that and you've been walked over and taken advantage of because she's not appreciating what she has, then how do you not grow bitter? How do you not then turn into the stuff that she don't like?
I think it's reflection
Now,
of self.
now, honestly, yeah.
I was gonna say I think it's a reflection of self. You have to go out of that and say, okay, you embarrassed yourself in this moment. You know, she took advantage of you, but you did everything right. So you can now go down the rabbit hole of depression or feeling bitter or doing all of those things, but you do have to reflect on yourself and say, what did I actually do that was wrong? But you can't put it on that person because you were the person that decided to deal with it. This is my choice to stay with that person. This is my
Yeah.
choice to walk with that
Yeah.
person that's treating
Now
you
I
that
agree
way.
with you on that. That self examination, brother, is key. Um, taking taking responsibility for your actions is key. But if you've done nothing wrong, if you have, because I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of times your best is not gonna be good enough for everybody. That's first and foremost. Your best is not gonna be good enough for everybody. It might be good enough for this person, but it might not be good enough for this person. But if you know that you have given 110% of yourself to a person and they didn't perceive what it was that you was trying to, get them to perceive, then you have nothing to hold your head down for. You know what I mean? That I think we beat ourselves up too much because of being a good person. You know what I mean? Because of the reaction that we give. You know, because of the ridicule that we get, the way a person treats you. You could be with a person 20 years, bro, 30 years, and they can walk away from you and treat somebody that they only have known 2 months better than they done treated you in those 30 years. You know what I mean? Like that, brother. You know? And the thing of it is, I went through it myself. You cannot hold your head down for being a good person. You cannot beat yourself up for being a good person. And that's one thing that we as good people have to stop doing. We got to stop beating ourselves up for being faithful, for being honest, for being truthful, for doing the things that it is that a man is supposed to do, by their mate or friend or whoever it is, a family member, you know what I mean? Whoever it may be, we just have to stop beating ourselves up for being that type of person towards somebody. You know what I mean? Everybody's not going to be appreciative of what you have to give. But I guarantee you this one thing, and I've learned this, they will miss that value because they're not going to encounter another person like you.
Now that self-reflection piece though, that's hard for me because it's hard to self-reflect on something when you've been transparent, when you've been attentive, when you've been all those things. So the only thing that is like you really can see in those moments is, yeah, I have decided to stay, but it's hard to see wrong in something that you feel like was damn near perfect.
Right.
No, you just got to learn how to pat yourself on the back.
Yeah.
You got to that's the self-reflection I'm
You
talking
got to give
about.
yourself
You got to
flowers.
be like, hey, bro,
Yeah.
hey, you
Yeah.
did
You
your
got
thing,
to give
bro.
yourself those flowers.
That's not your fault.
Yeah. You got to give yourself those
That's the
flowers.
most painful
Appreciate
part of
yourself.
it, though. That's
It
the
is.
painful part. It's like you said. It's literally accepting the fact that my best wasn't good enough. That's the hardest pill to swallow.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's heavy.
Yeah. It is now. Those are facts. That is the hardest pill to swallow. That you have given your all to a person and it wasn't good enough for them. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you're not good enough.
But you know how many relationships I've been in that all of those girls walked away and said, that's not what I want. I was looking for something else. And all of them eventually found somebody just like me.
Yeah.
Like high school relationships, college relationships, all of that. And I see, and we friends on Facebook, we friends on Instagram. And I'd be like, damn, every one of these men kind of got my same look to them. And every one of these men look like they act like me. They just nice guys.
Yeah.
But I gave it to them 20 years ago. They couldn't deal with it.
They weren't ready for it,
that's
bro.
all they want. They just wasn't ready. That's not their fault, and that's not your fault. That's neat. Some people learn at different paces. And so what I found out at 35 years old, somebody maybe have found out at 25 years old, or vice versa. So you got to respect the person on their timeline.
Yes.
That's their timeline.
Yes. Yes. And you have to respect a person's choice, bro. That's the thing about it. I agree with the maturity part. That's when you start to mature, bro. When you respect a person's choice. Because at the end of the day, I don't care what nobody say, it's all about choices. That's it. We choose to stay. We choose to see if this person is going to change. We choose to give our all, not knowing that we might not get that back in return, but that's what you're supposed to do.
But why did you choose to leave when you knew it wasn't reciprocated? Like why do we have that problem that we we're not getting that back from us, and we stay 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years when we knew we could have left in year one.
Well, somebody once told me this one thing, bro. They said it took time for you to fall in love with that person, and it's gonna take time for you to fall out of love with that person.
I heard it's
That's
double the time. I heard
yeah.
a year in takes 2 years out, or half the time. I'm sorry, reverse. So
It's like
2 years in, take a year to get out of it.
it's like a habit. It's like a habit. Like a person smokes cigarettes. You know what I'm saying? A person when they first started smoking cigarettes, they didn't get addicted to cigarettes. They were just smoking the cigarette.
Mm-hmm.
After a while, it started becoming an addiction. Now you knew them cigarettes was bad for you, but you kept smoking them. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So now it's time for you to stop smoking them because you know they're detrimental to your health. But guess what? You have built up a habit for them. Now you got to have that cigarette. You know what I'm saying? Now it's taking
But
you
a
time.
cigarette never took a cigarette never took a cigarette away from me. I could go get a cigarette anytime I want a cigarette, but
But at the
I
same
can't go back to that addiction.
yeah, but see, at the same time, it's taking a lot from you. It's detrimental to your health. And that's what a bad relationship is. It's detrimental to your health. It's stress, anxiety, it causes your blood pressure to rise. I've even known men to die from a broken heart.
But I don't know if it's detrimental to your health if it's making your heart stronger. I
Yeah,
don't know if I didn't go through the other relationships, would I be with my wife right now? Would I be able to handle our situation with my wife and our daughter and our household if I didn't have the bad ones before? So this was an exercise.
yeah.
And I could have learned that exercise. This is the path in the road. How many times did I choose the wrong path before I said, I get it now? And I
Yeah.
went that left instead of that right, you know?
That's why I believe in that saying that Tyler Perry said, some people are seasonal, bro. Some people are
Mm.
brought into your life to
For the
learn.
time they're supposed to
And
be in your life. Yep.
I'm saying they're brought into your life to teach you, to mature you on some things, to get you ready for that person that's going to be with you for the rest of your life.
So,
Ready for that lifetime person.
so my question is, how many times are you going to accept something before you realize being nice ain't the answer?
I
Wow.
don't
That's a good one, bro. That's a good one, bro, because I'm of the mindset, and I can't speak for nobody else, but I'm of the mindset that I just refuse to let somebody change the person that I was created to be. And I just believe that
mm,
there's someone out there that will be receptacle and appreciate what I have and what I have to bring to the table. Now, you're gonna go through some bad apples before you find the right one. Now, are you gonna give
well,
up?
hold on with that though. Hold on with that though. And I'm trying to break it down. I always try to break it down to simplicity. My daughter, somebody was chasing her at school and was trying to like push her and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And when she came home and told me the story, she was upset. And I told her, we don't run in this family.
Right,
My daughter is the sweetest little girl. She
right,
is always saying hello, especially when she see black people out. She'd be like, that's my uncle, that's my cousin. Like she just always want to say hi to everybody. But I'm not gonna allow her to get pushed. So
right,
there's a two parts to this. Like I said, she gonna have to turn around and don't let nobody chase her. She gonna say, I don't like it. If somebody says, well, I don't care if you don't like it, I said punch them dead in their face.
right,
I'm sorry. You could be as nice as you want to be, but be able to back your shit up.
right. Now,
We
with
got
that being said, with that being said, there's ways more than one way to skin a cat for the cliche.
I
And
understand it. I'm just saying you got to
take it
eventually turn around and stick your chest out.
right, exactly, exactly. But in what manner will you stick your chest out? Because violence only begets more violence. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you gonna feel like you turn around and you punch that person in the face, or how is that gonna make you feel afterwards? You know what I'm saying?
The
Because
only reason I
I've
think
got
you
to the
feel
point.
something is because everybody around you knows you as being this person. My wife knows me as being the nice person. My wife
Right,
knows me about being this. But the moment that somebody interrupts my family in a dangerous way and I show that other side of me, my wife will check me, but she will also understand that's who I got protecting this family.
Exactly. And that's
You
your and
have
that
to do it.
yeah, and that's your job. Like that's part of being who we are as men. We are protectors. Like we have to protect, our families and things of that nature by any means necessary.
You ever seen an MMA fighter or a jiu-jitsu fighter in public and some dude less drunk tries to come up on them? You see how calm they are?
Yeah,
You see how nice that person is? You see how violent
yeah,
they are in the ring?
yeah,
These are just
yeah.
personalities we got to hold, and we got to hold all of them, but make sure that self-care is the most important part of all of those
Exactly.
parts of you.
So we got two
Exactly.
questions. We got two questions. The first question is: are most good guys wolves in sheep clothing?
I would
No.
I would say so.
And then the next question is: what qualifies you to be a good man?
You
A moral
qualify you to be a
compass.
good man.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
moral
you
compass.
qualify you to be a put that label on you but yourself. If a person can say what they want to say about you, but if you don't think you're a good person, then it doesn't matter because a person you is really of naught because people are going to think what they want to think about you no matter what you do, what you say, how
But
you
it's
perceive you. You know what
perspective
I mean?
of the person. It's perspective of the person
Exactly.
because I could say
Well,
I could say
well,
back in my younger days I was a bully. So that person could still be carrying that pain that I gave them throughout their whole life. Now, my karma has caught up to me.
I know some people that ain't shit that think they are a good man.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna still roll with me. I can't. If I'm gonna call
Only
it,
God can judge me. Only
it's,
God can
I'm gonna
judge me.
call it. There are literally dudes out there that aren't shit
Right.
that believe and
That's true,
breathe that
bro.
they are a good man.
But if you one of them ain't shit persons, but you got all the baddest baddies, you got all the
Right.
accolades, you got all of
Right.
this, then how could you
Right.
ever look at yourself? Because they're not self-reflecting. So they're getting all
Right.
the goods. They're getting the money, they're
Right.
getting the cars, they're getting the
Yep.
baddest B.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, like now
Which
you tell them they ain't
if
shit.
that's your stance, which proves my point then from the very beginning. The reason why nice guys finish last is because the good guy, the bad good guys, the one that's getting every damn thing, they treating them like shit and doing. They don't know they're bad, but they're getting all the benefits.
Well, it's crazy you say that because so is the nice guy like the therapist when she gets ran through from this dude that ain't shit.
Yep.
And then she like, I need somebody that's gonna rub my feet and take care of me and be second instead of first and do all it. So
Yep.
she come to you for a year or two, get her
Yep.
push-ups on and her training
Yep.
on, and she get her
Yep.
confidence back, and then she
And she
be
gone
like,
again.
deuces, I'm gone.
Yep. Gone again. Everybody has
Mm-hmm.
that one person that they know that they can they can lean on in a time of trouble. Everybody
You just
knows
a
that.
diving board. You just a
That's
diving
it.
board.
That's it.
They
And
just
most of the
jumping up
people
and down on you, and then they just back in the pool.
Well, not
and the
even
way
that
you
though, because
and,
some women do
and-
stay. Some women do stay at when they get the good guy finally, but it's after she's been through a whole lot of bullshit. She knows she don't want to deal
exactly.
with it, and it's like,
Exactly.
damn, that's still not fair to me because here I am. I've been wanting you when you was at the top and at the bottom, but the
Yep.
bad guy got to enjoy you strictly when you were at the top.
That's
And I'm
it.
not gonna lie, I get a little jealousy from that. Like
Yeah.
to know,
Yeah.
like when you let's look topical for a minute. To know that at one point you was five whatever, no fat on you,
Cola bottle.
hips,
Just
ass, and
banging.
titties,
Just
banging.
banging.
You didn't look my motherfucking way.
At
But
all.
but now you got the little fool
You
puff.
got some stress marks a
Yeah.
little bit now,
Uh-huh.
you know.
Little
You
fool puff.
insecure. You insecure
Uh-huh.
now.
Now I can play
Yeah.
whatever I want to do. It's like what?
And
Yeah.
now I gotta give insight to those stretch marks and be like, it's okay. You still beautiful to me. You still
Yeah.
beautiful, but you still in the back of your head thinking like, but I wish I had you before them stretch marks. I wish I
Right.
was the one that put them stretch marks on you,
Right.
you know? Cause now I gotta deal with this kid that ain't even mine. I
Right.
gotta deal with this I gotta be a stepdaddy
Right.
because you made a mistake.
Exactly. Exactly. That's crazy, man. That happens a lot
Yeah,
though.
that's
It
crazy. It
happens a
do.
lot.
It do.
A lot. It happens a whole lot. And Sad, but it's true. Being a guy, you be like, yeah, but I still like her though. Maybe I could just make the best of what's left. You know what I
But
mean?
how good are you in it? Because that's the thing that actually I think that's the reason why I'm married, is because I looked at women in a sense of just an object, and just roll with me on this one. Um, in the sense that I had a body type, I had a complexion, I had an idea of what my woman was, and
uh,
every time I chased that idea, I failed. When I gave up on that idea, my wife walked into my life. And not to say my wife is not beautiful. I love my wife. I think she's beautiful, but
No,
we
I
can't
know it's,
see
I
us
know,
without talking.
but were you taught that though? Because when I was coming up, you wasn't shit unless you were short, light
yep,
skinned, and thick as
yep,
fuck.
yep. You're right.
That was the type. If you
You're right. That
wasn't
was the type.
light skinned and fucking just
I'm a
really
mixed kid,
just
bro. We all 40
Bro,
years oldish. We all 40-year oldish. Like that was I was winning. When we was kids, I was winning, bro.
bro,
And
listen.
I was getting the light, I was getting the mixed kids. I was getting the light skinned girls. I was getting all of that.
Oh
Cause
yeah,
I
you
had
had
that
fun.
idea.
Yeah,
I
you had
had
fun.
fun.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
see a brother like
but
me.
now
Brother
I
like
want my
me
shit
growing up in
so
the
dark
'80s.
it look like a hole in the sheets.
Yeah, see a brother like me growing up in the '80s and
Real
the
son,
early
man.
'90s. I ain't get saying somebody want that old black so and so and so. I done heard every black joke that is possibly you could possibly think of. You know what I'm saying? As a kid, you know what I mean. It wasn't until you had folks like Wesley Snipes and Washington and all these guys start stepping up on the scene. Now we just love us a black
Bro, I
man.
didn't have any
Oh,
game. I had
so
no game. I would just walk
you
into the
didn't need none,
party. I
bro.
didn't need no game. I had no
You didn't need
practice.
none.
I had
Nope.
nothing. They was just like him, that one,
You
that's the
didn't need
one.
no game. You was just light
Yep.
skinned, bro. You was good.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
didn't
I was
need no
killing it.
game.
I was killing
Yeah,
the game.
yeah, you was killing it. You just need to walk in the room. They
So,
ask you, you coming to the party?
was peak game. Here we go. So wait, what physical appearance will change, but her mentally maturity was not ready for you. So what we're saying is, when she was fine as wine and whatnot, mentally she was not mature enough to handle what we was bringing to the table. So hold on, continue to roll with the sister. Now because she spins the block, it's a problem. So why accept her back if you're going to say that? Hold on, let me.
Roll with him.
I know
Roll
that
with
for a
him.
second.
You slapping that head.
We on this one.
Get him.
So
Get him.
everybody has a type, right? So usually the type we want is out of our league when it's pinned up, buttoned up nice with a pretty little bow on it. So we out here getting Milwaukee's best ice, that bottom of the barrel shit. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
That
yeah.
we're not
Flip, malt liquor.
attracted to. Henceforth why men fuck who they can while women fuck who they want. So when you
Yeah.
was buttoned up all nicely, you actually went and you fucked who you wanted. But when you found out that up there on the physical level where y'all all was a match, you found out that, you know what I mean, mentally y'all wasn't a match, then you lowered your standards and now you in my motherfucking world. So now I'm getting what's left. You feel me? So now it's like, okay, to your point, I got a choice. I can keep getting this Milwaukee's best ice shit, or I can just get a glass I can just get a glass
That's
that's been sipped on a little bit and just know like, hey, it is what it is.
that's the camouflage though. My mental was there when I was young. I had the idea, but I had to act like you wanted me to act. I had to be this guy that you wanted me to be in order to be with you, and you didn't want to be with that. But my mental was always, once I found the one, I was gonna rock with that one. That's I literally nobody. I don't care how many times. There's some people that are players, right? There's some people that are pimps. There's some dudes, and the majority of dudes already have an idea of what they want, and it's usually similar to their mother or their grandmother. They already know who that person is. So if you walking away from me, I'm just trying to figure out the camouflage to attract you again. I'm just throwing my peacock feathers
So
out.
let me throw out this fact, and fellas, I want you to think about what I'm getting ready to say, and all I want to see is facial expressions. Back in high school, all of the pause, all of the handsome, good-looking dudes who were popular had the baddest women. Hear me? Now that we're older, us that were at the bottom of the barrel, our women are bad, but they women look like shit now. Wow.
Oh my God, bro.
Think about it. Am I lying? Am I
Yeah,
lying?
man. You're not
You ain't
lying.
lying, bro. I just talked to somebody about this the other
I got
day.
it,
I
babe.
said all the girls that I
I
had
got it.
crushes on back in high school, back in my, early 20s, and I was like, man, she bad. I turned around the other day and was like, what happened?
I'm talking about what happened for real.
What happened for real? Like I seen them in public and they was like,
Yeah.
oh, Mike. And I was like, excuse me? And they were like, remember me? And I was
Let me
like,
see.
bring it back for me. What's your name? Oh shit, that's you? This one. I had to pull up some old pictures and be like, this you. This one you. Yes. Mm.
I'm
Thank you,
on the
Jesus. Thank
floor,
you,
bro.
Lord.
It's like
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you,
like
you
the roles,
Jesus.
you
it's
missed
like
the
the
bullet.
roles literally flip over time. Like
Yeah,
when I'm sitting
yeah.
there struggling, couldn't get nothing.
What's the
I'm like,
number one line? What's the number one line they say to you? You haven't changed a bit.
A bit. Yep.
I told you. I
Now
fucking
listen.
told you.
Oh, they
I
hit you with this
told
one right
you.
here. I should have got with you when we was in school. That's all right. I'm good. Thank you for giving me
You
that
should
pass.
have. You should
Yeah.
have, because I could have
But,
kept you tight. I could have kept you, but but you
but
made a life choice. You made a
right.
life choice.
Thank you for helping out that bullet. You hear me? Thank you
Yeah.
so much. I appreciate
hmm
that. You know,
It's crazy
I
though,
seen
because
one the
that's
other
the
day, bro.
concept.
And
It's
I seen
it's
one when I
almost
went
like
back
blowing
home,
up the
man.
balloon. It's almost like
I,
blowing up the balloon. Is that they
I'm
get
telling
this
you,
air pushed into them so much that they just get bigger
and bigger
and you can talk
and
about just
bigger.
your mental side. You don't not even talk about physical, but they just get bigger and eventually pop, pop, that whole balloon just shrivel the fuck up on your ass.
Bro, I seen
That
one when
where
I
your
went back
confidence
home.
at.
I seen one when I went back home a couple of weeks ago. This thing at school, I'm talking about all the guys used to be at her. She had all the guys that had the cars and stuff like that, bro. And I seen this girl, man, not recognize who she were. She seen me. She was like, she's like, that. I was like, I know you. She's like, you don't remember me? I was like, not really. Can you help me out a little bit? And then she, oh, and the expression on my face, I know it kind of probably, I had like that, oh, type of, you know,
They
and she
usually
was like,
don't want to see you. They usually don't. They see you, they be like, "I'm out, son," because I'm not the one I used to be anymore. I literally the girl I dated before my wife, bro. She was a buck 20, buck 30, but in all the right places. Chick from Hawaii. She did me completely dirty. She had twins, and my homie that still kick it with her says she about 250 now, and she only 5'2".
wow.
And I was like, and she don't got a Facebook no more. She don't got any type of social media no more. She don't show her face no more. And I was like,
now see, for me, it's even a more double-edged sword because I was bullied school years. So not only did I not get a chance to date and do all of that, my dating life was shit. But then I was bullied and talked about, and like literally, when I tell you, this chick was the baddest in high school. Like Jason said, all the dudes wanted her and whatnot, and she used to let my ass have it daily, getting off the bus. And I went to Tri County for my wife. This was previous life, not this wife. And I purposely saw her, and I was like, I shot my shot, not because I wanted her. It's because I knew time passed so long that she didn't remember who I was. So I shot my shot, got the girl number, and then asked her, "Now, do you remember me?" And she was like, "No." I'm like, "You don't remember?" Glasses. I always had a button up. You used to let have it up before you got off the bus. She's like, "Oh, little ugly dude in the back." Yeah, that ugly dude. That was me.
Mm.
I got your number.
Just like that.
But see,
Just like
that's
that.
I mean that's the reverse of roles. That's what I was saying is that I was a bully because of trauma I was dealing with at home. So I was bullying people, and I think the difference is like sometimes you go through life trying to understand that you got to fix these issues with yourself. You got to make up
Yeah.
for all the shit that you did,
Yeah.
right? But I
Yeah.
think that's when you come out with a peaceful side of yourself. People that never deal with the fact that they were bullies before and they just say whatever, I don't care, that's just who I was. They gonna confront some issues still in their life. That's
Oh
just
yeah.
what they gonna have when they have
Yeah.
their kids and their kids getting bullied at school.
Yeah.
What they gonna say?
Yeah.
Karma.
Yeah.
Karma's a
Cause yeah,
bitch, homie.
I was poor, man. Like we was poor, man. Like we didn't have like the name brand shoes and the name brand pants and stuff like that. Wearing hand me downs and things of that nature. So kids would look at us. Think school first started out, and you think everybody got on the brand new shoes and the brand new kicks and the outfits and stuff, and we just whatever we could, whatever a parent could afford. 'Cause I was just my mom. She was raising 4 boys by herself, so it was like the kids, they was like, man, why you wearing them buddies, you know what I mean? And the Wrangler pants and just and they just would make fun of us. So I had to get this mean persona about myself, you know what I mean? And I said, you know what? I'm gonna make sure that nobody make fun of me. So when I started
Mm.
and stuff like that, like I was one of the best on the team. So a lot of that started to diminish. So I was able to kind of cover that up by me being able to play,
Your
sports at a high
confidence
level.
grew. Yeah,
Right.
your
So
confidence grew.
that brought along, a lot of other things, but
Well, see, I
still
was
though,
almost the opposite. I got what I wanted. Like I got the Concord 11s when they were first released. When Jordan wore them in '96, I had the Concord 11s. But I was also getting beat up by my dad at home,
right.
and I was getting told I wasn't shit at home, even though I had luxuries. I was getting just demolished at home with
Yeah.
my headspace, right? So I would
Yeah.
go to school and take that out
Oh,
on the kids
somebody
at
else.
school. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's
Yeah.
what I was
Yeah.
doing. So it was a weird
Yeah.
dynamic. The fact that like, didn't you grow up in a nice neighborhood? Didn't you have all the luxuries that you can have? Yeah, I sure did. All the luxuries except being told that I wasn't shit every day.
Right. And that's a difference. Like that's a big difference, dude. Like when someone does you like that, a lot of people don't understand. Like mental abuse is way worse than anything you could ever think of, especially as a kid. You know what I mean? And you
Mm-hmm.
got to have somebody to take that frustration out on you. You young, you don't know how to do that. And somebody comes up to you and they say something that's smart to you, you don't fire off on them. You know what I mean? That's
And that's
just
the
that's
nice
just what
guy
it was.
mentality, though. It's like my grandmother always said, "That's a nice kid. I'm gonna back him
Yep.
up. I'm gonna back him up." So I treated every girl that I met like my grandmother treated me, with this
Right.
understanding and respect. I don't care about your history. I don't care because I know who you are in here. I know who you are. So that's and but then the girl takes advantage of you, and you never know. Maybe her daddy was taking advantage of her. Maybe her boyfriend took advantage of her. Maybe whatever. So you just the one that's willing to take it.
Yeah.
That's what
I
the
tell
nice guy is.
I tell a lot of people though what will help a lot of like nice guys, bro, is when you're talking to somebody, you're trying to get to know somebody, a girl or anything like that. I tell people, ask about their childhood. Ask a person about the way they grew up. Ask them, about, their mom, their father, you know what I'm saying, their grandmother, you know what I'm saying? Because through that, you learn a lot of things about a person's traits and their tendencies. If you ask those questions, I think that'll save you a lot of time and hurt. Because if you talking to someone that has had an abusive mental abuse background, don't expect them to receive what you're saying because their antennas is already up, and
Mm.
and that's something that has been woven into them. You know what I mean? If you talk to a person and they dealt with physical abuse, you know what I'm saying, from their parents, don't expect them to be real receptacle, get loud with them. That's gonna trigger something in them. If you encounter somebody that has been sexually assaulted in their life, you know what I mean? They was raped as a kid, or their dad or cousin or somebody was touching them the wrong way as a kid. don't expect them to be so receptacle with you in the bed, because that is something that they have dealt with, and you have to. And once you dig into those type of things, I think it helps a in a nice guy, because you'll know.
Right. So I gotta go against the grain, man. I can't be me if I don't go against the grain a little bit. Now I hate to go on a tangent because we usually do this, but I'm gonna go on ahead and say it. Fuck it. You opened up the
Don't
can of
say,
worms.
don't say it,
So
bro.
my thing is this. I don't want to take away from nobody's trauma. Let me say that first to give me my shield of fucking protection before the world goes the fuck off.
Go ahead.
Let me say it again for the people in the back. I'm not trying to take away from nobody's trauma. Couple years, you gotta finagle some stuff, you know what I'm saying? Do what you gotta do. Couple more years, you still trying to figure it out, you know what I'm saying? You trying to figure it out. But at what point do you stop letting your past trauma be the crutch as to why your relationship don't move forward?
I got this. I think I got this. I
Okay.
think it's the
Awesome.
same. I think that same trauma is the reason you a nice guy. And it took me 40 years to figure out. I dealt with, dude, my first kiss was, I was at 6 years old. My first French kiss, I was 6 years old, and it was a 16-year-old girl that did it. How does that not create the rest of my life? I didn't even think about it until 2 weeks ago. I didn't even think about it. So obviously my head, my subconscious is still dealing with it and had it tucked away in its back pocket for the longest time. But the moment I released it, all of a sudden I ran back on my whole life and was like, oh shit. That's why I was doing all of that. Like, so think about how that affected me as a six-year-old.
I'm trying to
I
figure out what
have
you're
to
talking
be
about.
that.
I hear I smell BS. So what are y'all calling bullshit? I need to know so we can elaborate on that.
Right. Exactly.
I don't know what they calling BS on.
He said straight BS. Mr.
Straight
Gray said
BS.
straight BS.
On what
Straight
though?
BS.
What part of it?
Yes. What part of it is the BS? Raina?
I gotta know.
Yeah, we need to know. I want to know what
She
part
said
of it.
she said everything he just said for her.
So what part of everything I just said started your sense that I was lying to you?
Ooh, you defend yourself. Bang, bang, bang. They hit you with three of them things.
Talked
Because
about
what I'm
quick.
talking about, if I would have changed,
Oh, trauma made him a
trauma had
nice
made me a
guy.
nice guy. No, I'm saying that I didn't know that that was what caused it. Not until I was 40 years old. That's what I was talking about. So if we switch, let's switch the conversation. Let's talk about a 6-year-old girl with a 16-year-old boy kissing her for the first time. Now is there BS in that situation? It's not. It's the fact that I'm a man and now it's reversed. I just hid it behind myself. I didn't know. But the reason why I went out and tried to be like the coolest thing to every girl is because I thought I had to be that way. I'm still unpacking it today. I just figured this out 2 weeks ago. So it's not BS. It's just my truth.
But even on the
That's just what
flip,
it is.
that's what I was trying to get at though, because even when I do my couples coaching, it's like I get a lot of pushback when I be like, man, kill that shit. Like, it's not that I'm trying to rush anybody through their process or nothing like that. But at some point, you do need to say, okay, enough's enough. If you've been dealing
Exactly.
with 10, 15, 20 years, you gonna go into 21 years saying, oh, I'm this way because of, and it's like, well, damn. At some point, you got to pony the fuck up. I hate to say it that way, but at some point, you got to pony the fuck up.
And I'm gonna chime in too on what you're saying too, because I'm a firm too, bro. I think at some point in time in your life, bro, you with yourself and stop using certain things as a crutch as is to why you do some of the things that you do. You know what I mean? I
I
think
don't
that's
use it. I
I,
don't use that as
no,
a
no, no, no.
crutch. It
I'm
was
not
just
saying that. I'm
something
not
that
saying
came up.
I'm
Okay.
no, no. I'm not saying that you're using it as a crutch, but I'm saying society has made it okay for a lot of people to use a lot of excuses for some of the dumb instead of them just being with themselves and say, hey, I messed up. You know what I'm saying? I did this, I did that. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of you, if there's nobody put no gun to your head and make you do anything that you didn't supposed to do or you didn't want to do, then that's something that you got to just confess to yourself. And if you need to get help for it, get you. You cannot go through your life to keep using, hurting people or doing certain things to people a past experience. Now I'm with you 100% on that stand because I see a lot of people use. I'm not saying that you do, my brother, but I just see a lot of people use uh past experiences as an excuse to do or be the way that they are, especially if it's detrimental to the people that's around you. It's accountability. We got to start taking more
I
accountability
understand.
for our
I
actions.
Hold
understand that.
up,
I'm
hold
talking
up,
about
hold
when I
up.
was younger. Was that something that caused that?
Time out.
Was that something that caused that? I'm
So,
not talking about right now. I'm
right,
not trying
right,
to give
right.
me excuse
So,
right now. You
right.
know.
So, remember when I say you over here is a different ball game?
Yeah.
Bang! We got our first shotgun. So, Raymond said, "You're not the nice guy. You're pretending to be. In your eyes, you are. I think you only feel like you are nice because you have a wife. What are your sentiments on that? Now, be easy. This ain't. It'll go left.
Who's that coming to?
I, I'm assuming it's me.
McBleak.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's
Oh,
me. Um, I don't consider myself a nice guy just because I have a wife. It took me a lot of work to even understand what I wanted in a relationship. That was the hardest part for me. Is my relationship before my wife. When I walked out of that one, I literally sat down with myself and said, "What are you actually looking for?" So I don't consider myself nice because of that. I think I just made sure that my priorities were straight before I got into my next relationship, and it just so happened to end up to be my wife. So I'm not saying I'm a nice guy because I have a wife.
no,
I'm saying I'm a nice guy because I'm working on myself constantly.
I think what she's trying to say. I kind of feel like on that situation that is that you were born with. You're born with that. I have not just saying that through past or trauma experiences that made me this way. I was born this way. I've always been a giver. I've always been the person that takes the high road, and avoid conflict. I've always been the person that take it to the chin. A lot of times, things have happened in my life where I wouldn't say a word, knowing that I was I would be the person to go back and say, "Hey, look, I'm sorry, this is not worth it. Whatever I said or did that caused this situation, I apologize for, or just take the high road, avoid conflict. I used to even avoid fights. You know what I mean? Point where you really just had to put your hands on me in order for me to, basically defend myself. You know what I mean? I've been in situations where people would just talk about me, call me all kind of names, and make fun of me, and I would just simply walk away. You know what I mean? And to me, I think that is the definition of being a nice guy. And that is the definition of being a nice guy that finishes last, because he who laughs first, laugh last. You know
But
what I
how does
mean?
that
So
change?
I'm
How does that
always
change to who you are now, though? That's the crazy part
it
about
that
it.
it
So right
makes you
now,
strong. What it does, it makes you stronger. You
but
know what I'm
if I
saying?
got in your face as two grown men and I got in
Yeah.
your face right now, what would you do?
Uh, if you don't
You
put
would,
your hands on me, I will walk away.
but if I did,
If you put your hands on me, then I will defend myself. But
so
if you
so
don't put your hands on me,
your previous life did affect how you are today.
no, 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 no.
You're a stronger
I was the
person
same
because of
person.
it,
I,
right?
I was just no, I was the same person. If you didn't put your hands on me, you could say what you wanted to say. But if you didn't put your hands on me, I would walk away. I would simply walk away. But you had to put your now. If you touch me, then I'm gonna defend myself because to a corner, and I'm gonna come out that corner. Then that's just human instinct. But
But
like you said,
compared to your
rambling,
past, I'm saying your younger life, when you were saying I was the one that avoided fights, I was the one that would just let people bully me. I would be that person. You've learned from those lessons, right? To now be a stronger individual as you get older.
and I
I'm not
and I
saying
still,
that
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
and I
I'm
and
not
I
using my past as an excuse, but it definitely helped create who I
right,
hopefully am today.
right.
That's what I'm looking at. I'm not saying that I'm a mean person because of it or I did certain things because of it. It just helped. It was just part of my trajectory getting to my point that I am at right now.
And I understand what you're saying, but I think the people in the audience are looking for someone who has didn't have to be molded into that, but was kind of that way from the start. You feel what I'm saying? I think that's what the
I
disconnect is
mean,
coming there with them. You know what I'm saying? Now you know,
I did say I was a bully. I did say I was a bully.
that kind of what they from their perspective, that kind of like exclude you from being quote unquote slash the nice guy versus a person like me that was bullied. I wasn't the bully, but I was bullied. You know what I mean? So I ingested that, and it made me a stronger person because why? Those guys that bullied me, they ain't nowhere in my stratosphere right now. You know what I'm saying? Most of those guys are either
Exactly,
in
my
jail.
yeah,
Most of
exactly.
those guys are either or they're homeless, and sad to say they're probably in the cemetery. You know what I mean? And they're not. They are. You know what I'm saying? And I'm here today. You know what I'm saying? I'm here today. I'm healthy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a bad looking person. My life is going in a great direction. You know what I mean? So it takes you to have to endure some things, brother, in order to see the bigger picture or get on the other side. A lot of people look at it as weak. A lot of people look at it as you. Be honest with you, they call you lame. You know what I mean? You're gonna get called all those words, but at the end of the day, those same people that called you all those words, without you physically putting your hands on them or going back and forth with them, calling them, trying to prove that you are not what they say you are. I lead by example. So therefore, I don't have to put my hands on you. I don't have to get in an argument with you and go back and forth with you. You just look at
I
me,
got
watch
you.
how I'm
I got you. Yeah, I got you. I was a
right,
bully that was just clowning people. I was just
right,
clowning everybody I could say. It wasn't a physical thing with me, but it was a mental thing. I would always just say what clown people every day. That was just my
right.
thing.
Any more questions from the audience? Because
I can take it, y'all. Like I don't have to explain like my life, but it's okay. Like I can honestly
again,
pop it.
this over here, this is where it comes out. I just wanted you to know, like, you join the nation. This is the kind of stuff they're gonna do. They're gonna pull.
Yeah, it don't hurt my feelings. It don't hurt my feelings. Like
Good, good.
it's just like I can only explain my life.
Right.
I
Right,
can't I can't walk around what everybody says. I can't do anything like that. I
right,
can only try to tell it to you how I experienced it.
right. So, any other questions before I really? I usually am longer winded, but I'm fucked up. I'm trying to stay here, but I'm fucked up today. Any other questions? Going once,
Going
going
twice.
twice. In the road with your boy. So I
Bro,
appreciate McBlee and Jason coming out being the co-host. McBlee, as you can see, if you want to have some more of these conversations, now again, this is for some reason we've been on the lighter side of things for a while here, but there's been times where we've gotten very intense. So you got a sample of what it is to be over here. If you want to join up and join the nation, please do. The link is in the bio. You can come on through, and you will be added to the email chain that goes out. At some point, it's going to get to a place where I don't want to go live no more on TikTok. I'm either going to be on here or on Zoom, and we're going to have all of those deep conversations on there so that we're not under the constructs of TikTok and what we can say and what we can't and all of
right,
that. I
right,
want to have a literal kick it spot for people that really want to have a conversation and not use the crutches of TikTok to bully their way out of something or don't take accountability. Over here, as you see, they gonna hold you to your word. So come through. But in the next like 6 months, I want to be done with TikTok from a go live perspective. I want us to have a semi schedule of, oh, we going live, let's go, and we get over here, we chop it up and whatnot. But yeah, I got a bigger vision of what this is going to be, but we need some more traction. We need some more people, and we definitely need more men because we got a lot of women. So the fact that you handled that gracefully without folding, usually we would fold a motherfucker on that. So we would like you to join up, brother.
I got you. I'm not afraid of it. You know, either I'm still dealing with it, or I've already dealt with it, and it's just my truth. The BS would only come if I was just lying to y'all about what it is of my past. I can only tell you what I got.
Yeah, yeah. So for people watching on YouTube, I appreciate you. Please share the channel and whatnot. Get us out there. And we'll be back again. Now for the people on here, YouTube.